He was a man, they say he was simple. He took less than a day had time. You could see in his eyes just what he lived for.
Trapper Dan here, out on the beaver line. Shouldn't even really say that because I haven't gotten any, except for one. But just working these two places and definitely learning. So I caught a beaver on the camera crossing over this log. And I'll turn this around so you can see. The camera is right over there on the tree, right there. And the log is right here. This is the one that the bobcat and the raccoons and the muskrats and everything that lives out here walks across. And I see the beaver is swimming over, actually jumped over the log right here. So I put my trap right there. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but I figure I just keep moving closer and closer to where I see them. I had it set over at this tuft of grass with a stick with some caster on it in there. But let's see if this does anything. I moved it here. I actually put the stick with the caster on it, just sort of laying on top of here. I'm sure that's going to get a lot of things to stop. I'm not sure if that's a bad idea for the beaver now or what, because they don't seem to be bothering with it. But we'll watch that camera and see what happens here. Oh boy, these swimming raccoons, man. Another raccoon in a beaver trap underwater. Gonna have to let this guy go. Hey everybody, it's March 8th. We have a little bit less than a month of water trapping left, and I'm not doing too great. I'm catching some things. Raccoons. I keep catching raccoons in my beaver sets. If there's any trappers out there that have any tips on how to not do that, but they seem to get under the water and into those traps. So, but what I am doing, you know, as they say, right? It's a day fishing, a day hunting, a day trapping, no matter how you do, is better than a day at work, right? But your heart beats a little faster when you do catch things. And I was watching a guy on another YouTube channel who was giving some tips about trapping, and he was saying how he likes to diversify wherever he goes. So if he's trapping beaver, he'll still set some muskrat traps, or if he's trapping coyotes, he'll still set for some raccoons. So when he gets to those spots, you know, there's more of a chance that he'll have some sort of catch, even if it's not his target or the thing that he wants to catch the most. So here's what I'm doing. I'm not a great muskrat trapper, that's for sure, but this looks like a muskrat run to me, like going right along that log. So I set a 110 right there. You can see the wires going under that branch. And also, this certainly looks like another muskrat run. So I have a 110. It was under the water right there. But I'll push that down again. And so when I come in to check these beaver sets, maybe I'll get a muskrat. Here's something else going on today though. I'll show you this set, but this is like a little pass-through. I think their feed pile is over there, and they're coming through this pass-through. So I'm gonna I put this trap down in here on a Black Widow stand. So the Black Widow stand is stuck down in the mud, and I've got a MB 750 right here. So as they swim through, I'm guessing that they're gonna hit this with their chest and step up on it because they're just used to coming through here, and I'll catch them. I'm not gonna put any bait or anything here. I'm just leaving this as they swim through, and it's not a 330 because they're going around those, but it's just something they're gonna touch on the bottom and hopefully step in it. So I got it chained off to the trees over here, and we'll see how that goes. Now you know that there was a trap with no lure or bait under the water on this swim through here. So it's like a swim through the weeds where I could tell probably the beavers are coming through because it's quite large. And I didn't want to put a 330 in there because I know they're shy of those. But my black widow stand is right down in there and there's no trap on it. So we're gonna see what's on the end of that trap. Hopefully not a raccoon. Oh, bummer. There's the trap. So it was a good spot, but the trap got tripped off and did not catch the beaver. I think I'm gonna reset it, but now I'm feeling like they're gonna be shy of this swim through, but maybe a different beaver wouldn't be. So we'll reset this one here. And we have another one over there. But let me show you this. Over here, oh, I gotta sink in this water here first. Whew, cold out here today. Definitely pretty deep. This is beaver sign. And that is the first I've seen in this spot. Right here too. They're making little mounds and putting a little caster out. So I'm going to set a MB 750 right under the water right here. I moved it from another spot since this is where they're walking around. I'm driving from that last beaver site to back to home, and I'm thinking about how I missed a beaver, or it could have been an otter, but most likely a beaver because we saw fresh beaver sign. But I missed one on that MB 750 on the swim through, and here's what I think. I think that was a belly trip, right? So instead of a leg going onto that trap, the belly rubbed on the pan and the trap popped. And that beaver was probably mighty surprised. As I said when I was checking it, maybe a different beaver would still go through there, but probably that beaver might avoid that spot. So what I should have done, which I didn't, is maybe offset the trap to one side of that swim through so that I'm more likely to get a leg. I made the mistake of, I think, almost centering it in that swim through on the Black Widow stand. But I think it's a use case for the Black Widow stand because it's too deep there. You wouldn't be able to set like a foothold trap in that spot without the stand. So that's pretty slick. But I'm out of there now, but tomorrow I think I'm going to offset that to one side. As you saw though, I finally saw some fresh beaver caster mounds on a little island there, so I set an MB 750 under the water right next to those, and I purposely did not put any of my caster there because I kind of like with coyote trapping, I'm going minimalistic, you know. I'm trying, like, let's not even pique their curiosity. They're already going there, so I don't need to draw them in. So I just put the trap underwater there, and let's see how that works. In the meantime, I caught a muskrat in the 330. Well, speaking of catching, got another muskrat in a 330. This was on a beaver swim through again. Aren't these the cutest little guys? He's cleaning his beak off. Chickadees. Definitely one of my favorite little birdies. Alright, working my butt off to change things here. I tried something else. So the big pond is out there, and I believe that beavers are coming through and swimming through these channels here. So I have a swim under stick there and a 330 under there. If I walk in here, it's going to get muddy, so you're not going to see it, but yep, there it goes, getting muddy. And there's one under there too. So both of these water runs have 330s under them, and they're cabled off to the trees here. So we will see what happens here. There isn't too much place to go around them when they come through here, especially if they're going with the flow, which is pretty strong. Okay, the Beaver Lodge is right to my right there. And I got a camera on the tree right behind me right here. And it's pointing right behind me over there. And over there, right on this grass, we can see a beaver placing caster. And I already yesterday put a trap over there, but it's not about where he's sitting. So I'm gonna move it today, and we're gonna see if that works or if he really knows what it is and he's just walking around it. It's super windy out here today. Yesterday, by the way, I couldn't even take video because it was so stormy. All this water was so muddy, and it was up like 1.5 feet. Everything was basically washed out. But I'm glad that it kind of emptied out in about a day, and I'm back here today getting things reset. Hey everybody, those of you who have been following me know that I only have one of each stretcher. So I'm still putting up fur one at a time. I'm trying to get a few more fox and raccoons done before I sell my furs. In the meantime, just having a good time out there in those swamps. But right now I'm going to end this one. That's because me and my pop went to an antique snowmobile show up in Rutland, Vermont. I put this out as an individual video for my family and people who didn't want to watch about trapping, but here's the trapping version of the antique snowmobile show with my pop. Hang in there and enjoy. Otherwise, if you gotta go, just remember, trappers snore. Sustainable, natural, organic, renewable resource. Hey everybody. We're not on the Trapline again, but we're at something that's kind of related to trapping, and that's antique snowmobiles. But anyways, I wanted to give a shout out for a long time to my pop, and I just happened to be here with him. Hey Pop.
Hey.
So my pop is not a hunter and a fisherman, are you, Pop?
Nope.
Nope. But growing up in Vermont, he always supported me to do it. And you remember what you used to tell me when you come home from work? Your customers used to tell you this when I'd say I want to go hunting, I want to go fishing. Your customers used to tell you something. Can't remember?
No, don't remember.
They used to tell you if you kept me doing it, that you would keep me out of trouble.
Yeah, that's probably right, yep.
Yep, and so my mom and dad bought me this 22 right here, single shot Marlin, and it's my dispatch gun today on my Trapline, so it kind of has sentimental value to me. And then you guys, when I was 9 years old, I wanted to hunt like a son of a gun, and you guys got me to Fish and Game, Mendon Fish and Game,
Yep.
to take my
Yep.
my hunter safety course, and you got some friends to show me, gun safety, and well, I just like to say thanks, Pop, because that meant a lot to me that you supported me, and it's not easy for a youth that doesn't grow up in a family that everybody does it,
Right,
so.
yeah.
But your father was a big trapper.
Trapper, yep.
Yep. Grandpa Pete used to trap muskrats, right?
Yeah.
And you used to go with him, you told me. A couple
Yes.
times you went with him.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he dispatched groundhogs on farms for farmers.
Oh, okay.
Too. Yep.
Cool. So we're going to look at some antique snowmobiles and maybe some that would be good for northern trap lines. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
Oops, we got a loud one.
This one's nice too.
Yeah, these are in great shape. This is like probably a 1970 something.
Yeah.
69 to 73, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
single cylinder Wankel engine. This is when Arctic started using slide systems. So you can see sliders under there.
I don't think they ever used the bogey wheel.
Arctic maybe never had bogey wheels.
I don't think so.
The big old gas tank on the back.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is like my first snowmobile ever. Got the tank on the back, lights on the back. So this is a 292, and I'm gonna guess that this is a Hearth. It's a single cylinder. Oh no, this one has a Suzuki engine. Arctic. Mine was even older than this one. But the Arctic had the big metal cleats. You can see on the track here, big metal cleat right across the whole track. It holds 3 bands together. In the late 60s and early 70s, there was so many snowmobile makers, right? There was like, you know, of course, Skidoo and Yamaha, and there was John Deere, and there was like Ski Rule and Alouette, and I guess we're probably going to see a bunch of those here. How many different manufacturers were there?
100.
There was 100 different snowmobile makers.
Yeah.
And now there's what, 3?
Yep.
Yamaha just got out of it. Here's an old moto ski. My neighbor had one of these. And you're sitting like right on top of the engine. It's so uncomfortable and loud. But we can see this has bogey wheels, so the wheels under there is what the track goes around. When I first jumped on a snowmobile that has bogey wheels, I wasn't used to how unstable it is compared to sliders. And it's kind of rocky, and you have to get used to that, and I rolled right over. But talking about that, the bogey wheel snowmobiles are really great for like trap lines because you don't need a lot of snow because there's not a lot of friction. With the sliders, you need some snow on the trail to keep the sliders lubricated. So that's why a lot of guys do still, even up north, use snowmobiles that have bogey wheels, or snow dogs, which is a kind of a stand behind bogey wheel track. Here's a chaparral. Oh my gosh, that's so cool looking. And this one is a Scorpion, made in 1973, the Super Stinger. Here's a Snow Traveler. Holy cow. Boy, it's in nice shape. I can't imagine that doing too well in deep snow. Wow, a 1966 Polaris Mustang. Boy, somebody has this restored really nice. These guys, you just sit on a sled behind it, and you got your tracks in front of you. You steer it by just shifting it side to side. 1964 Husky. A Ski Horse by Johnson, 1968. There's a 71 Puma and a 1969 Skidoo Olympic. Another buck 71 and an Evinrude. And another Arctic Cat. And here's a Kawasaki. Those were known to be fast. 1979 Intruder 440. 1981 Polaris TXC. Here was one of the famous cockpits, like out of Star Wars, a Manta. I remember actually seeing this out on the trail. What do you think, Pop? You want to jump in the Manta?
No. That's nice, though. That's beautiful condition.
Yeah, it's really cool. Looks like it's out of Star Wars. Look at the light on top.
Yeah.
Let's see what this engine is in this.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I hate it. Drives me
Pretty cool.
once in a while I see it.
Here's a Merc snow twister. 1974. So my pop and I did hundreds of miles of snowmobiling, didn't we?
Yes.
And so Pop just officially retired 2 years ago or last year?
Last year.
He's 85 now, and it's a little hard on your neck and your shoulders, right?
Yep. My back. Yes.
But he still loves the sport, and coming to this, sorry, it's kind of loud here. Coming to the Antique Snowmobile event is pretty cool. At one point, how many Arctic Cats did we have?
9.
9. And were they all working at the same time?
No.
Never. You're always working on them just about as much as you are riding them.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
we definitely had a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
And we had some of these old ones that are around here, so it's pretty cool looking at them. Mostly Arctic Cats.
Yeah.
Only I got into Skidoo at the very end because the suspension was so much better. But we'd have dozens of them. Remember when John Deere made snowmobiles? I remember they had the Spitfire where the cylinder was pointed right out of the cowl. That kept it really cool. That's what I just said. That's what I just said. The Spitfire cylinder sticking right out of the front. I can't believe I just said that, and then we found one.
Put it online, and 2 hours later it was got sold.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
If somebody wants to break on this, they can fix it.
That was the kind of snowmobile they marketed that you can throw in and out of your truck real easy.
Oh.
Super light. There's no liquid cool, so the air, just the free air cooling keeps it light.
Right.
Oh my God.
The Arctic Cat Puma was one of their smaller snowmobiles, and also the Lynx. Oh my gosh, look at this Bombardier. It's wood. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Look inside.
Yeah, French Canadian.
Just cushion seats around there. Too close. Pretty cool, huh, Pop?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You think they made it wood like that when they sold it brand new?
I'm trying to think of the guy's name who owns it.
So the sound of that one Arctic Cat that just went by,
Yeah.
that's like the typical sound of a Wankel engine. Do you know what the design is, why it makes that sound?
No.
It's something about the cylinders and the way that they're made, but it has that weird low.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, they're
Just weird stuff about snowmobiles.
Circular.
circular sound?
No, a circular system. The Wankel.
Oh, okay. I've never seen one of those before.
Snowbug?
What's it called?
Snowbug.
Snowbug, yeah. Did you ever hear that before?
Nope.
Me neither. One ski on the front.
Big dude. That was kind of. The engine, weight of the engine is probably roughly the same as an adult.
Yeah, and it is like, I mean, you notice the skis
Wow,
are way
it's
up
the oldest
here.
one I've
The
seen,
weight on the skis
1957.
Yeah.
in the center of the track is kind of
Motor toboggan. Got the snowshoes in case you don't make it out.
So as soon as I got that, it went to like 13.
Whopping 9.2 horsepower. That is a lot of machine to move around with less than 10 horse.
You wouldn't be able to ride it without it.
Here's a birthplace of the snowmobile. Elias Motor Toboggans. Built in Clintonville, Wisconsin. Wow, look at that. It's a toboggan. Hey Pop, look, it's your kettle corn. Pop's kettle corn.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're in Rutland, Vermont, and we just went to the antique snowmobile, what do they call it? Show?
Show, yeah.
That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
We got to see some of the old snowmobiles like we actually used to own. I wanted to ask you, Pop, what's like one of your favorite snowmobile memories? What about
Snowmobiling with you, and both you and Ted
Yeah,
were my favorite, some of my favorite things to do, yes.
Yeah, we had a lot of good family and friends time on snowmobiles in Vermont.
Yeah.
And we could ride from our home to pretty much every corner of the state.
Yeah.
And we rode in, even in Maine some, and we rode in Canada.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun part of our life in Vermont. Like we said, mostly we had Articats.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got lost. Sometimes we got stuck.
Yeah.
We used to cook hot dogs on the mufflers.
Yeah.
And but we always, created memories and had a good time.
That's for sure.
Yep. So happy we could tour this with the Trapline talk, folks. Obviously this isn't about trapping so much, but trappers do use snowmobiles to work on trap lines, and like I said, mostly those like bogey wheels. And up in Canada, you can't really use and up in Alaska, but you can't really use an ATV when there's a lot of snow, because you just start to dig ruts, and they just get deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
Whereas the snowmobile packs the trail down, and the trail gets better and better.
Yeah.
It snows, and you just pack it down, and But
Yeah.
anyways, cool to see those. We're gonna go off and have some lunch. Say bye.
Bye-bye.